She was going to do a meeting in her hotel room, a conference call, and then she was going to join us. So, Fritzy, for
doing his show from, she's there.
Say you can't ask anything, and we thought
embarrassment at a whole nother level.
You're the commissioner. I know people get busy. People have agendas. The people, like it was her opportunity to finally say, hey, WNBA, all morning long. We need to just give us a comment. Does any
a legend? What?
We can at least, but I wanted to get to know her so I can have.
And then I think it's on YouTube or something like that. Anyway, you're talking about.
Let's set the table here. This has been called a welfare league for years because the NBA has propped it up financially. And here's the part that should bother you regardless of what side of the Caitlin Clark debate you're on. The WNBA has never released clear profit figures, even after a season where every metric, attendance, ratings, merchandise, went through the roof. If you're not going to be transparent about your business during your best year ever, when exactly are you going to be transparent?
Blah, blah, blah. And they are trickling off fans right now. Fans with every passing game, every passing day are making a choice. You've got people now saying whether Caitlin Clark watches or not, as long as she's with this team, I'm not watching anymore. And some of them are just saying until they get change of leadership all the way across the board, Stephanie White, Cathy Engelbert, all of it, until there's a douching of the league, they're not watching. Well,
enter Dan Patrick, a legitimate media legend, ESPN and NBC pedigree, been doing this for decades, broadcasting live from the American Century Championship Celebrity Golf Tournament, where WNBA Commissioner Cathy Engelbert happened to be one of the celebrities playing. That's about as perfect an opportunity for an actual sit-down interview as you could script, and it should have been an easy win for the league.
Yeah. Everybody knows the one thing that Dan Patrick knows above everything else is the game of basketball. He's talked a shit ton of it for the last 35, 40 years. Cathy Engelbert had an opportunity right here to come on, dodged it. And if the WNBA PR didn't think she should do this, maybe it's time to get new people in the PR department, because that's the problem. You got a PR crisis and you're not willing to hit it head on. That's exactly why what's going to end up happening.
And this isn't some gotcha ambush we're talking about. This is the WNBA in the middle of a real PR crisis, with Congress actively looking into potential civil rights violations within the league. When you've got federal lawmakers asking questions, the last thing you do is dodge the one journalist who's actually offering you a fair platform to answer them on your own terms.
We need to just give us a comment. Does anybody have a comment on this? Is anybody there at the office? We couldn't get a hold of anybody. So Paulie, during the show, was trying to track down somebody. So
I almost made a video on that because I watched him talk about that last week. They couldn't get a hold of anybody. When
she agreed to the interview, they promoted it, and then she backed out. And to make it worse, Patrick's crew had live footage of her hitting practice shots on the course literally while the show was on the air. You can't be 50 yards away golfing and claim you were too busy for a scheduled interview. That's not a scheduling conflict, that's a decision, and it's a bad look no matter how you spin it.
That is her at the event that he is at. This golf event. He is having his show, doing his show from. She's there.
Say you can't ask anything, and we thought, okay, we're going to be able to finally ask questions about Caitlin Clark, the WNBA expansion, a lot of different things. And we waited and we waited and we waited. And then we got word, Todd did.
Here's Patrick's own account, and it's damning. Yesterday, after the show, we waited almost 2 hours for her. We're standing by. We're waiting to interview her. That's not a 5-minute delay. That's an entire broadcast left hanging because a sitting commissioner couldn't be bothered to send a timely update, let alone show up.
This is a disaster, a PR disaster for the WNBA. The WNBA is in a crisis mode. And they're cowards. Cowards. You got Amber Cox, the COO, not just GM, but COO of the Fever, going at Caitlin Clark fans.
And Patrick makes the point that matters most here. Engelbert should be the one calling the shots on her own media appearances, not some PR staffer telling her she's not allowed to sit down with a legitimate journalist. If Adam Silver himself told her to skip it, fine, that's a different conversation. But getting overruled by your own communications department when you're supposed to be the face of the league is genuinely embarrassing.
We waited. And then we got word, Todd did, that the commissioner said that the WNBA staff, the PR staff, said that she is not allowed to do this. They would prefer that she did not do this.
Okay. She should be, in this moment, the WNBA PR staff. She should be the king, queen, tyrant, dictator, over all of it. If she wants to go on there and answer these questions, that should be her.
Did you check with PR before you said yes to us? We promoted it all day yesterday. That's the exact right question to ask, and instead of a real sit-down, Engelbert went on a Kansas City radio station where, according to Patrick, she was only asked about expansion. That's not answering the tough questions. That's cherry-picking the softest possible interview and calling it accountability.
And she said yes. So yesterday, after the show, we waited almost 2 hours for her. This was scheduled. She was going to do a meeting in her hotel room, a conference call, and then she was going to join us. So Fritzy, for at least 90 minutes, is looking just for an update. We're trying to figure, we're standing by, we're waiting to interview her. They didn't, balk at anything, didn't.
That is her at the event that he is at. This golf event. He is having his show, doing his show from. She's there.
Say you can't ask anything, and we thought.
This isn't a one-off pattern either. Patrick points out his team couldn't get anyone at the WNBA office on the phone when the Alyssa Thomas incident with Clark happened either. Let the WNBA have their say. Get out in front of this. At some point, you have to do this. When you're a commissioner avoiding your own league's biggest storylines 2 separate times in 1 month, that's not bad luck. That's a pattern.
NBA PR staff. She should be the king, queen, tyrant, dictator, over all of it. If she wants to go on there and answer these questions, that should be her decision. She should not be bowing down, kowtowing, any of that to anybody else. Unless Adam Silver told her to go on, to not go on.
And Patrick draws the exact right comparison here. He's had Rob Manfred and Adam Silver on his show, commissioners of massive leagues who show up and answer hard questions, because that's the job. If you want to be treated as a serious league, this is what happens. That line right there is the whole thesis of this entire controversy in one sentence.
Not just as it's simulcast or whatever, but I don't know where Dan Patrick's show is now on radio. It used to be on, I guess it was NBC Sports Radio. I don't know what it's on now. But I know it's still all over the place. I think I can still watch it on Peacock.
Here's the prediction worth paying attention to. If the WNBA keeps dodging instead of answering, they're going to end up giving Congress a benign non-answer or a no comment, and then get dragged in front of cameras on Capitol Hill anyway, except now it looks even worse because they had every chance to get ahead of it and chose not to.
Not do this.
Okay. She should be, in this moment, the WNBA PR staff. She should be the king, queen, tyrant, dictator, over all of it. If she wants to go on there and answer these questions, that should be her decision. She should not be.
And this is where it stops being just a PR story and starts being a business problem. Real fans are saying, on the record, that they're done watching regardless of whether Clark's even in the lineup until there's real change at the top, Stephanie White included. Networks paid real money for guaranteed viewership numbers, and every fan who checks out because leadership won't answer basic questions is a number the league has to explain to its broadcast partners eventually.
I made 2 posts on Twitter earlier talking about Stephanie White. I did a video on this on the Matrix and Road show, but I did it on this channel earlier this morning. Shit, I got too many channels. Anyway, and she didn't want to talk about the thing from Congress. You know? Well, you're directly involved in it, whether you like it or not. You are. So, this league's got a real...
This is a disaster. A PR disaster. They're cowards. Strong word, but look at the full picture. You've got the commissioner dodging a scheduled interview, and separately, Fever COO Amber Cox going after Clark fans online, which by any standard is an unprofessional look for a senior executive. When your own leadership is more reactive to social media than to the actual questions piling up around your league, that's the real story here.
Questions. But this is a fair outlet for you, a fair platform. I will treat you with respect. But when you tell me, and then 2 hours later with no update, and then we get a feeble response, like, come on. You don't want to do it. You won't. The commissioner of the NFL does not want to come on this show. I've been doing this for 20 years. There's a reason why he doesn't want to come on. I have no problem if he doesn't want to come on.